Oh, how about that? Let's start with a sound effect. Hey, I'm Tom the Beer Whisperer, and you're drinking with the Beer Whisperer. How the heck are you? I'm fine. Thanks for asking. Anyway, I digress. Uh, you ever watch the old show Night Court? Anyway, John Aston had a character. He said, "But I'm feeling much better now." Yeah. Anyway, Harvest Pumpkin Ale from Sam Adams. Let's pop it before I get too irreverent there. Oh, I forgot my glass. Hold on a second. I forgot some of my glass. I hate it when that happens. Anyway, here, let me pour some in here. There we go. Nice color. Hey, how are you? Let's see. Nice to meet you. Come on in. Let's bring it in for a hug. I had the Buffalo Bills, America's original pumpkin, and I wanted to go up against this one here, the Sam Adams Harvest Pumpkin. I actually did a review on this a while back, but it was when I first got it, and the video came out real choppy because where I recorded it didn't have very good internet. So I thought, well, let me do one more. Let me read from your website real quick. It's 5.7, 14 IBUs. The malt varieties are Sam Adams 2-row pale, malt blend, caramel 60, specialty, and smoked malt. Okay. Special ingredients are real pumpkin, cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, and allspice. Okay, which makes sense in a beer like this. Hot varieties are East Kent Goldings and English Fuggles. Fuggles. Don't just love saying that word, Fuggles! Anyway, I digress. Actually, if you saw my other video, you'll notice that this beer is quite a bit darker. I did look at my original video, and what I said about this was I liked it more than I expected it to. But I noticed more pumpkin spice than actual pumpkin. This is a slightly bigger version than the Buffalo Bills I just had, so I was wondering if the pumpkin was going to be more distinct. And actually, it's not. I stand by my original assessment that it's the spices you notice first and foremost from this one. Which one do I like better? You know, that's a tough question because wow, there's even though they're both pumpkin ales, are almost two completely different beers, striving to become two completely different things. I don't find this one quite as refreshing as the Buffalo Bills, but then again, this style isn't supposed to be on that refreshing side, so I'm not going to hold that against them. But there are things I do like about this one. I do like the color. And it does feel a little more satisfying. I do like the spice that I get. I said at the time when I did my first video that I think they'd almost be better served just calling it a harvest ale rather than a harvest pumpkin. Even though it does have pumpkin in it, once you put that word in there, pumpkin, people are expecting a heavy pumpkin flavor, and this one really doesn't have that. But it does have everything else you want. But I do think that there may be that subset of people that like that big pumpkin that are going to be disappointed because it says pumpkin and they're not tasting a lot of pumpkin. Because I don't get a lot of pumpkin from this. But I do get big spice notes. So I think they'd be better off if they just called it a harvest ale, or something to highlight the spices, because the spices are very prevalent and taste very good in this. Oh, it is likable. I gotta tell you, because I mean, I really expected this not to be in my wheelhouse, so to speak. But I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. I really did. It is decent. Um, it's a beer that is going to be good during the fall. Oh wow! It's going to taste good with your Thanksgiving dinner. You know, it is 5.7, bigger than the other one I had, but still light enough to probably be sessionable. Oh, excuse me. Wow. So I mean, you know, it's certainly one that you could bring along to your Thanksgiving gathering. We haven't exactly firmed it up yet, but we have talked about it. Fellow beer beer reviewer, I guess. I don't refer to myself as a beer reviewer. Actually, I'm just a guy that talks about beer. But my fellow beer reviewer, Stuart Picard, the Ginger Man, is talking about possibly coming out here on Thanksgiving. His birthday falls on Thanksgiving this year, and he wanted a typical American experience. You know, I'm not very typical, so I'm not sure if he's going to get what he's looking for here. It may not be typical American experience, but anyway. But I'll give him an experience, all right. You know, oh, holy cow! This is a beer that would work for that. I usually do, you know, I'm the kind of guy that likes to change things up. I don't do things exactly the same every year. Probably about a decade ago now. Actually, I've been doing this for a long time. I found a recipe in a food and wine magazine that I liked, but I didn't like it exactly the way they did it, so I tweaked it up my way. And it's basically this, it's a turkey that I put in this brine of various spices. The original version was orange juice and bourbon, and since then I've kind of changed it up in different ways. I've done it with Irish whiskey. I've done it with apple cider. I've done it with rum, various things. I've kind of gone back to doing it with bourbon again because bourbon does impart the most flavor because you do have those smoky, sweet qualities that a bourbon has. The juices I've changed up over the years, though, because it just depends on what I'm looking for at that time. I've used orange juice. I've used apple cider. I use a variation of things. And in beer, this would be an interesting beer. The Buffalo Bills too. You know, I'm wondering about using a pumpkin beer in conjunction with my bourbons. So I'm going to kind of do a version of something. I'll do something different. I always do. We don't do a big fancy spread. It'll probably be, you know, a lot of folks have the big families, and we did that at one time. Right now, it's just hard with Seamus and everything we're going through. I'm not sure if my daughter will be able to come or not. So it may just be the wife, Seamus, and I here, and if Stuart comes to me, so it may just be, you know, the four of us. But I love to cook, so I always cook more food than needed. Wow. This one is a very likable beer. I can't imagine, folks, if you do like the style, I can't imagine anybody that's a fan of this style not liking this. But again, for me, it showcases the spices more so than the pumpkin. So I'm curious to have some feedback from those folks that are looking for more pumpkin than spice. So anyway, hey, I'm Tom the Beer Whisperer. I actually gotta go pee. So you notice me kind of dancing around. It was about through half of this glass. I've really had to pee, but I didn't want to walk away from the video. So anyway, I'm gonna stop and go pee. That's Tom the Beer Whisperer. I gotta take one.